Welcome to another exciting episode of ZoeTv. And I got my wingman, Mark Hamilton, holding the fort down for Kay this week. And we are going to have an amazing guest that you guys are going to love to hear about because she hit the ground running at Glencroft and she hasn't looked back. And so we're going to spend some amazing time with her. But before we do, Mark, we've got a lot of action happening on campus. I mean, I know we're headed right into Christmas, and this is Christmas week, but we've been so busy with our neuropathy group and what we've been doing with that. So let's touch base real quick, because I know our guest is going to speak to it. But we are going to go live with True Neuropathy Immersion Program in January. Let's start back. What's your initial thoughts of what we've seen so far?
Oh, it's amazing. The results have just been shocking. It's get better all the time, and to hear the stories and what they're telling us that's happening to them, the differences it makes their life, and I think Linda will speak to that a bit. It's just amazing, and I'm really excited about it. We're excited about the whole program now that we've worked through some of the bugs. You know what works and what's too much and what's the right amount.
That's the beauty of beta, right?
Oh, absolutely.
That we had the first beta group that did it a certain way, and then we switched things. We added more things. We took away things. We did beta 2, and we really learned a lot, you and I together.
Oh, absolutely.
And we say it all the time. We put a lot of stuff on the whiteboard and to see what's going to stick. And it's amazing always how much does stick, and we want to keep going. But there were pieces of it that we needed to adjust times because it was too early, or things were, we could make better. And so January is going to be the start. So January 9th is going to be our first day of our True Neuropathy program. We are actually going to have a meeting this week. We have a slide up on December 19th. So
1 o'clock.
This will be airing by that time. But if you hear this prior, or you want information on it and you missed the meeting, it's not the end of the world. We can get you in. We have 15 slots, and they're filling up, though.
They are.
I mean, it's exciting to get to the point where we know what we are, we know how the program works, the logistics of how to move people around, and now it's like a well-oiled machine.
Yeah, and some of the people that are in that beta group, they can barely wait for this program.
Yeah, it's exciting. Okay, so that's neuropathy, and we're going to get more to it with our guests. Team Walking Challenge, Christmas Eve. That's the home final day. So get your miles turned in. If you have been reluctant to turn them in over the last couple weeks, what do we do, Mark?
Turn them in now.
Turn them in now.
Unless you're on Steve's team, we don't need to turn those in.
I am leading the pack going into the final week, but your team is hot on our trail.
We've had meetings. We were led all the way till the 5th week, and then you came on just like a tidal wave.
Well, you got sick, and you kind of had to pull back for just a week or so.
So we've had to talk to the team. Hopefully they're ready to go.
Here's what I do know. Regardless of who wins, collectively, we have walked a lot of miles.
Yeah, I think this will be our most ever.
This will be the most ever.
We're
going to break the record. So get your miles in. Even if you hadn't done it and you need to turn them in for a couple weeks prior, just bring them down. We're going to have that because that goes until Christmas Eve. Let's get real quick while we got your attention. Performance Center closures heading into this week. December 23rd, that's the Friday. We are closed. We are also closed on the other end on Monday the 26th. So luckily for you guys, Christmas Eve days on the weekend, we just book in that with closures the 23rd and 26th. December 30th, prior to New Year's Eve, is a half day. That's a Friday. So we're open till noon, and then we're closed January 2nd. So there'll be slides up. I know there's a lot. Activity centers closed down. This is kind of the weird week, but we're gangbusters all this week until that Friday the 23rd. Why don't you talk quickly about the wheelchair class?
Oh, the wheelchair class is great. We started with a couple of guys and went real well, and now it's completely full. So sorry if you missed out on the shot to get in. It's full. We'll run another one and keep it going. But 4 great guys, very different. It's going to be a fun thing to go and just see them working together and the dynamics of that group.
So say how it worked. What's the
So we have 4 people, in wheelchairs. So we pair them up 2 and 2, and we do the exercises. We set the machines and the exercises up. All exercises they're all capable of. Working at their level, their weight. We can adjust really fast. One team goes, the other team has a rest, and then we swap teams back and forth. It works real good, so the muscles get enough rest, and they're ready to go. And to see them go and the smiles on their faces while they're working out is awesome.
Well, and you're going to offer this again. So
yeah, it'll be offered again. This is our beta, if you will, for our wheelchair group.
So down the road, if you're interested and you're in a chair and you haven't even if you have participated,
Yeah.
but this is a different style of
It's
workout.
completely different. You know,
Okay.
it's based on them. And let us know, because we'll get you in as soon as possible. If you want to get in there, we'll get you in there.
Very cool. Okay, my final thing before we get to our guest is we have 3 huge lectures coming up in January and the 1st of February, geared towards outsiders in the community coming to learn, but you are invited as well as residents. So January 19th, January 26th, and February 2nd. There are 3 of them. And we're going to have slides up and describing them, but there's going to be one on Altex. So if you're interested in learning more information on Altex, one will be on ZoeLife and wellness and 6 pillars of wellness. And then the third one is going to be a very cool lecture on caregiving for those with dementia. And so 3 really unique, kind of captivating lectures, but the idea is to educate the community, not try to sell them on apartments, but show them how we are learning and embracing the idea of continuing education as seniors and what Glencroft does so well with the university. So if you're interested in attending, just reach out to the support team in community care. They've got a list going of reservations, and get your name on the list for that. And with that, it's time to talk to our resident spotlight, Linda Crandall, who is amazing. Amazing what you have gone through in your life, where you are now, and just the idea that Mark and I got to work with you the last 6 weeks on your neuropathy. I want to get into that, but first, thanks for jumping on the show with us.
Well, you're quite welcome.
You are an amazing person. Why don't you give us a little context of how you got to Glencroft, where you're from, all the background of Linda Crandall.
Okay. Well, first of all, I was born in Annapolis, Missouri, and moved to the Phoenix area in 1957.
Okay.
So, and then after the mid-70s, I moved pretty much all around the world. But
Gotcha.
anyway, it came back in the mid-90s, and was very active in all sorts of things, and then fell and injured my spine. And that's why the neuropathy came on. So it's a little bit different than a lot of other
How
people.
long ago was that fall?
It was a year ago in July.
Okay.
So it came on just boom. Just a couple of months after that, I couldn't walk. And I had absolutely no balance whatsoever.
Wow.
And where other people in the program I talked to, theirs came on gradually over 20 years. And so, yeah, they were able to keep their balance because it was a gradual thing, but not mine. So I might be a little different, but I'm sure there's lots of other people out there that have had accidents to their spine. But when I started off the program, I didn't really have much hope for anything, but I was willing to try anything that just might help. And I am so glad I did. I really, really am.
That, I think, and we've talked about that, the idea of hope goes so far, right? Even in terms of just the emotional lift up that hope provides.
Yeah, I had, the couple of days before I started this program, I had been on the phone with people trying to get a scooter because I just gave up on walking, thinking of ever walking again, really, and driving again, doing things like a normal person. I was just going to get a scooter so I could actually go around and do some things. Go over to the auditorium.
Sure.
What an idea, you know. Anyway, yeah. So, and I'm going to get a scooter now. No, and I've already talked to you about how to drive.
Yes.
I'm going to start driving in that cemetery.
Yes, we were talking about, because I had to deal with my mom who came off of being so sick, and how do we reintroduce driving skills? And there's so much of practicing. And so we said, well, my mom's plan was to get around the cemetery and just practice her backing up, practice maneuvering. But I think what you said, hopefully, kind of takes hold on the campus in terms of you want to get back to a life where you can get to the auditorium without calling security to get you there or to drive.
Right. Yeah. And I can actually walk to the auditorium now. And but with your program, after you do the black box and things like this, I'm not able to walk back. I have to call security
You're
to
worn
get me
out.
back.
You're worn out.
Yeah, well, it hurts. Well, no, it doesn't hurt, but it affects that
Yeah, absolutely.
foot that you're working on.
Well, let's talk quickly about
Okay.
how you were. We talked about you not walking and whatnot, but physically, before you started really working with us over the last 6 weeks,
Okay.
how was your ability to stand? Could you stand the length of stand? Like, what was your day look like? Could you get out of bed to the bathroom safely? Were you always having to hold on to something? What was your situation prior to?
Prior to my fall?
Well, after the fall, but prior to getting in the program and working so hard on your body and your nerves, what was your lifestyle like?
Very, very limited, completely with COVID and everything. But, yeah, no, it was very difficult to get up, go into the restroom, and then to pull up my pants. So, I had to stand up.
Right.
And so I would jam myself in the door frame. And that was the only way.
Brace yourself, yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
That was the only way I could stand for any length of time without holding on to something. But it was miserable. Life just wasn't good at all. Yeah. When I came here, I didn't have much hope about ever doing anything again.
And now?
And now I certainly do. Well, hey, I'm talking about driving again, maybe. Well, I'm going to keep up paying the insurance on my car, so that means I'm really.
That means you're committed.
Yes, because they just raised the prices.
Oh, I know. So, okay, let's talk about what aspects of the program you think. I think as a whole, you obviously got better, and there's still a lot of work to be had, and we're still working.
Oh yeah.
But what pieces of it do you think? Was it collectively all beneficial, or was there one or two things like you really look back on like, boy, that really made the difference?
The ice baths. And right after I take my feet out of that, I can wiggle my toes. And that sounds silly, but yes.
No, it's great.
I can do things. Initially that. The black box helps. Those things help. Just building up my energy has helped.
Yeah.
My energy level.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because when I go to the gym, what is it called? The Performance Center. Now, yesterday when I was in there, I could do so much more than just a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, it's amazing, the difference.
Yeah. I need to go back there, though, and I need to work more on my balance. But there's equipment there to work on my balance.
That's right.
So I'm anxious to start using that.
Well, I think what we always try to do with our programs is build you up safely, but keep progressing, right? So this first 6 weeks really jump-started where you were to where we are now.
Yeah.
And now it's taken the next step of now that you can stand efficiently and work on your posture and start really honing in on the balance and maintaining the ice hot in the box and some of the aspects that
I can still maintain that.
we got to maintain it. Yes,
wonderful.
I know, and that's what we were saying with January and the neuropathy program hitting the campus. The idea is not to lose you guys that started the program, right? We want to keep you in the fold, but bring others in. And now that we know who we are and what we want to do, that invitation's out there to the campus, but you guys as Beta 1 and Beta 2s always have that spot. Because we want to also see the data of staying with it. We don't want you guys to stop.
I'm so glad, really, because I was going to ask if I can take it again.
Yes, that's exactly
stay in.
Yep.
Okay, good.
All right. Prior to the program and now, let's talk about the use of security to get you around this campus. Prior to the program, you were using security to transport you anywhere you needed to go, pretty much.
Actually, prior to the program, I was just going over to Henry's.
Okay.
That was it.
That was it?
I wasn't asking security to take me to the auditorium, to take me anywhere. I just didn't go anywhere.
And now you have the confidence and ability to do it.
Yeah, now I'm walking less. Last night, I walked over and saw a movie.
Okay.
I did ask security to take me back in the dark
Yeah.
because I'm not confident enough to walk around in the dark yet.
Sure.
So
Sure.
I fall too often.
Wow.
So
What do you think, Mark? Is this our poster child for
I
the
think so.
program?
I think so. Just seeing the difference in the 6 weeks is amazing to me.
Yeah.
well, yeah, you remember after
Oh, I
the
remember.
first week,
Yeah.
I was ready to quit.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I thought she was done.
Yeah,
She talked to me, and I thought, oh, this is over. She's out.
yeah,
But you stuck it out,
yeah,
and look at us now,
yeah. Well, after the first week, I really was in a lot of pain
right?
from it.
Oh yeah.
Well, that's
Those
the body
nerves were
doing
starting
new
to come
stuff.
back,
Yeah,
and
and I think we learned so much about the hot cold because in beta 1 we only did 1 day a week on that. Beta 2 we did 2. It's trying to figure out, okay, we're seeing the benefit of a hot cold. Can it be
Okay.
even magnified if we do a second day? You know, where's that sweet spot for a resident where it's not doing too much with you guys? Because the shtick we always get from our programs is too much. It's every day.
Too
It's
much.
so
That's
much.
too
I don't know
much.
if I can do it. I'm doing activities, volunteering. I'm doing this
Yeah.
and that. And so it's that fine line. It's trying to split that needle through of not too much, not too little, where we're being effective, but not overwhelming. And so that's where Mark and I have really worked hard to figure out what is that sweet spot.
What is that spot? Yeah.
Yeah, no, I can see that. Yeah, because like although I never left Henry's restaurant area, I was very active down in the activity center, volunteering
Mhm.
and playing cards,
Yeah.
things like this. So,
Now, how long have you lived on campus?
well, I had to move in the last week of January. But really, I didn't start residing here, and I only camped out through February. I had a bed and a TV, and that was it for a couple of months.
Oh my
and
goodness.
then my furniture arrived.
Okay. All right. Well, amazing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Now, you are actively involved in resident reps.
Yes.
Tell us about that. Tell us what does that look like for you? I know you guys do your meetings and you do that, but when a new resident moves in, your responsibilities are what?
Well, mine is a little different because I have so many apartments where I live.
Where you're over the villas.
I'm in the villas, the second floor, which has 50 apartments, compared to the first floor that only has 18.
Okay.
And I go around and greet new residents. And I thought that was primarily my responsibility. But one of my new residents, actually yesterday, just got released from the hospital. So I'm anxious to get over there
Okay.
and see her and see what I can do. But I guess that's what the other resident reps, I think, have more responsibilities because they have fewer people.
Yeah.
They have to, like, say they have a pet. Who's going to walk the dog or feed the cat or whatever? Hopefully, I don't have to do that. I don't know.
Well, I think the beauty, at least from what I've seen on resident reps, is you guys are a very good collective group. And I feel like just because you're let's say a Core 7 rep, you lean on Core 8 rep for help. Or if you are a Villa rep and you need help from a crossings person or one of your fearless leaders, I feel like you guys really communicate well from what I've seen.
Yeah, I know several other reps from the courts and from the crossings and things. But what I'm planning right now is I'm going to get together all of us that moved in 2022 and just have a meet and greet.
Well, I think that's a great idea.
A couple of the gals are really, really nice, but really shy. And so I want them to start meeting people. And
Yeah.
and some of them are new. One of them's brand new. Just moved in a couple of weeks ago.
That's
so
very cool. All right, so I want to go one more piece before we let you go, and let's talk about the nutrition aspect of what we did with the neuropathy. So we try to cut sugar down, but you eat pretty healthy in general. You're pretty conscientious.
Yeah, yeah, but I didn't like getting out the sugar. I can tell you that much. And I have gone back to my Fresca. I have to have Fresca.
But you really did watch your sugar levels during the program. And I think that needs to be understood as just as valuable as anything, if not more so, because the sugar we talk about all the time, and you talk about what is the sugar doing?
Oh yeah, sugar just aggravates the neuropathy. Lack of movement, no movement, and high blood sugar just just turbocharges that neuropathy forward. And anytime you can increase your movement, drop that sugar down a little bit, that's going to be a step in the right direction. And it was like you and I were talking about what facets can we use in this program to hit everything. And the nutrition one was big.
Big.
You know, if we can get this blood sugar down, a little more activity to come up, that in itself will help with the neuropathy.
That's right.
And then you combine it with the other features that we were doing. That's why we keep doing everything, like Linda and you were both talking about. And that's where we hope all those, we hope 1 + 1, we end up bigger than 5. We have 6, 7. How do we move it along? And that's what we're excited about. That's what I'm excited about this program and what we're doing and finding out what works and what didn't work. And we've modified those things a little bit, but that diet thing is huge. And I saw that across the board. The people that increased the protein a little bit and dropped the sugar were generally getting better results than the people that diet was flatlining.
Yeah, I agree. I think that it's always been the way with ZoeLife that the exercise everybody likes, the social aspect of it, the physical aspect, it's tangible, right? I'm working on my fall prevention, so I'm working on my balance, right? That's easy to understand and do, and it's fun. The food has always been pushing stuff uphill.
Yeah.
It's hard. But I think for someone like you that saw the immediate benefit of the program, I would have a hard time believing you're going to go all back in on sugar, knowing the difference it made. How are you liking the new menus?
There are things I like.
Good.
And some things I miss from the old menu, but
they'll come and go. But I think it is a whole, you're eating here over the last, you enjoy the dining. We've talked about this. The dining, I think in senior living, it's hard pressed to beat what we're providing in terms of somebody running this kitchen with scratch-made mindset, healthy mindset. So many facilities, because I've had the good fortune lately of being in a lot of kitchens of other facilities just to see what they look like. And it is pre-packaged processed food to a T. Heated up, served. And that's the opposite of Lish Dining Services call to action. So I know you love the California chicken sandwich. She'll might bring that back. We were just talking about
We
it.
were talking about that today. Right before we left, we talked about the chicken sandwich. I like the new chicken sandwich. But I know a lot of people that like the old one, And she was talking about, she goes, I'll bring that back in there too. So,
good.
Yeah,
good.
so she's
because now what they have is not on a bun at all, and so I don't know what that what is avocado salsa?
Avocado salsa is like avocado and tomatoes and spices and herbs and cilantro and lime.
It was just tomato cut up, so that's
fresh.
All right. And a half avocado sliced.
Yeah.
No, but nothing else. There's supposed to be onions and a whole bunch of other things in there.
But it was clean and it was fresh. Simple.
Yes, but that's exactly
rustic.
the way the California chicken sandwich used to be.
Rustic. That's the word.
Only it had a spicy aioli and this didn't have it.
Well,
and it was on a bun.
I will say this. Lish has such a good, because I've seen her plan. Things are coming and going.
Okay.
She's trying things. It's
keeping the variety up.
Keeping the variety. Yep. That way it stays fresh. All right, we got 2 minutes left. How's Christmas look for you? This is the week. What is it looking like? You staying here? What's the plan?
Yeah, no, my son-in-law's mother lives in Prescott, and she's not doing well.
Okay.
So they're going to go up there.
But you're staying here.
Well, I'll be staying here. Okay. We are going to go out to dinner beforehand.
Oh, we're going to go. You know?
Olive Garden.
Olive Garden.
Because that's the only place one of her sons will eat.
Oh.
I wanted abuelos, but we'll go to Olive Garden.
Abuelos. You like abuelos.
Ooh,
you talk about abuelos all the time. He loves it. The enchilada.
Oh, I like the avocado enchilada.
Oh, you can't go.
Fresh avocado with a little tomato, nothing else?
A good healthy fat.
Tomato, just fat. Oh, yeah. I love avocados. So
avocado is very good.
Good healthy fat, absolutely. You need that.
Good. Well, I would say this. We have a lot of amazing residents involved in the program. We were very fortunate to get a big chunk of you in Beta 2. I don't know anybody that succeeded the way you did in terms of really changing how they maneuver around campus. I mean, to watch you having to start the program, security had to bring you, had to pick you up. It was like, well, you can't come to this because I can't get there. to where you
painful.
are
It
now
was painful,
of
yeah.
walking in, walking out. I mean, it's spectacular.
Yeah, well, remember one of the first times it was the second thing you had. I got stuck over by the security because there wasn't anybody to take
That's
me
right.
over there.
Yeah, and you missed it.
And I missed the whole thing.
And we were worried, and we
Yeah,
said,
we
"Where
wonder what
is
happened to
she?"
you. Where
Yeah,
is
I
she?
just went home and went to bed.
Yeah,
So
and now that you have no chance of missing anything because you're
I can walk it.
controlling the way you move.
I haven't been able to walk over to that other park.
Oh, the outdoor workout park.
Yeah.
Okay.
If when it gets warmer, I will.
I know. We're out there. That's a good note. We have 30 seconds left. Every Tuesday, Thursday, navigating these holidays, we're still on the path, 8:30, and it's a big group no matter how cold. I mean, we were out there last week. It was 35 degrees out, and we were packed. People were still hats, hoodies, scarves, gloves, but we are working hard because it starts the day the right way, getting to move. And then you come in, you get warmed, and you're like, man, my blood is moving. I feel really good. So thank you for bringing it up because that was the last thing on my list. And now we're out of time. Linda, you are an amazing person. I can't wait to keep you in the program. I know Mark's we're salivating at what the potential is with you.
You're going to get me to drive. I
We're
know
gonna
you
get
are.
you to drive. All right, you guys. Thanks for joining us.